Hey guys, welcome back to Nerd Impact. This is our first video of 2021. Jake, it's slipping my mind. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about Cobra Kai, dude. I'm so freaking crazy excited. Oh man, it's awesome.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen, Netflix dropped Cobra Kai season 3, of course, as they usually do, all 10 episodes at once. And for once, I would say the third season of this show is the best season yet.
It really is, Chris. I totally agree with you. They pulled out all the stops. Everybody is just going crazy about it, and they're going crazy over it for all the right reasons, man. It really is just it was just an amazing season. Had plenty of drama. I think it mixed life and karate a lot better. It blended a lot better than the last two seasons. Just great.
Yeah, so of course this is heavily spoilers. It's going to be a ton of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and then come back. Unless you don't care, then just watch it and we will spoil everything for you. But
We'll try.
The most important thing impactful event of season 2, of course, was Miguel after this big school karate fight. Got kicked over the railing, broke his back, paralyzed, in a coma. And I like the way I like the way they depicted it, where he was literally fighting for his life within his mind in a karate tournament.
Yeah, we got to see like a sideways flash, kind of what was going on, like his battle with his own demons, kind of, and his physical inability in his paralyzed state. It was pretty cool watching him fight this nightmare foe, so to speak.
We were talking about how I always saw Crease just as like this flat out just evil antagonist, and he still is. Like you said, he did completely go that way at some point, but we do get a little bit of insight into why he is the way he is.
Yeah, we did. We got to see some. We got to see flashbacks of him not only in the Vietnam War, but before he left. We got to see some of his home life, and that he was exposed in a way to his own type of bullying, obviously in a time period where it was much more commonplace. He worked as a busboy at a little streamlined diner in the town that he grew up in, and it was at the time when a call to war was going on in America. The war was brewing overseas, and John Creese took it as a time to rise up against that feeling he's being bullied, and I lost my train of thought. It's too early in the morning yet, Massey. What was I trying to say?
Well, he got drafted into the military.
There we go. Thank you. That's the word you can use. You're adorable this time of morning. Is that a new hat? I'm just now noticing your hat.
No, I got lots of hats.
I got lots. You do wear lots of hats. John Creese also wears lots of hats. Apparently, he's got a lot of demons. What did you think about his quasi sensei when he was over?
Oh, it's who he became.
He quite literally became like mirror image of his sensei.
Yeah.
Except he's got a much cooler stance. Is that going to be? Will that bother you if I sit like this for the for the remainder of the episode? Jason would love that. I'll just sit like.
So we need to talk about the relationship between John Creese and Tori, because Did I just say
Don't know how
John
long I could
Crease?
do it.
Is it? Is he also John? Is it John Crease?
Yeah, it's John Crease.
Yeah, and Tori.
Yeah, there seems to be like a he's got this image of her in his mind. I think now, whereas that like we were discussing last night, it kind of seems like there's like he's like a grandfather figure. Maybe there is some. Looks like there possibly could be some tie into a deeper family relation, possibly between Sensei Crease
Mm-hmm.
and the character Tori.
Well,
They both definitely share a very similar malicious spirit and a drive to win at all costs, at all any means necessary.
right. Well, his interest in her just seems to go beyond his usual interest in his students. But he's got a weird thing like that where he like selects certain ones where he'll like go out of his way to try I I guess in his mind help them.
Well,
But
he looks for, if you notice, he definitely takes on the ones that have been abandoned
yeah.
by their by their past parents.
Mm-hmm.
Looks for people that have no father figure in their life, and that a mother that's already being in ways being taken care of. Like Johnny Lawrence's mom was the same way. Like when she ended up dying at a young age. We never got to see her in the show. She passed
Mm-hmm.
in the time since the movies and the show Cobra Kai. She had passed somewhere in that period of time.
But we have also talked about the possibility that she somehow is literally related, possibly to his girlfriend that died in the car crash.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe there was something going on. There was definitely something going on there. Past that, I know his Crease's sensei kind of used that letter that she had passed when he was received the letter over in Vietnam, and he didn't tell Crease about it,
Mm-hmm.
and how he waited till like they were on that awesome battle scene on the log at the
Yeah,
POW camp.
literal fight to the death.
Dude, the snake pit, that was over the top. I'm sorry, I got a side bridge for a minute. What about that snake pit, bro? I would like to discuss furthermore about that. Snake pit's got its own story on its own.
Well, it
Notice
just
there was no bodies in that snake pit, and there was like no guys left in that POW camp, man. They're like, those snakes ate all those guys, bro.
well, yeah, and it made perfect sense, like that was how Cobra Kai was born.
I would be really curious to see. I noticed this look in this crazy, beady-eyed, viper-like, laser-focused look on Crease's in Crease's face. It would be some strange. It'd be strange if they took it to a almost at an almost more mythical level. Would it be like like somewhat poisoned or in some way, dude? Like he has like a snake's eyes, man. Like I think there's some different type of evil, more malevolent presence inside of John Crease than what we just are seeing in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see an even more evil John Crease. I'm not thinking he's going to like turn into a snake or anything like that. Although that would be, I'd watch
Dude,
that show.
we already saw him twice flat out try to kill Lawrence and LaRusso.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Clearly, this guy is very unhinged.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
like the jaw of a snake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe what if we find out that like let's take a look at this for a second. Is it possible for John Crease to become Cobra Commander?
Do like a GI Joe crossover.
Did we possibly just did that? Anyway, what else we got? We got so many characters to go over. Let's not.
Dude, Mr. It turns out Mr. Miyagi is a retired Snake Eyes.
Oh my God, Storm Shadow.
But anyway, yeah, let's not get too far off the beaten path here,
No.
because there's a lot to talk about.
Sorry to keep moving around, man. I am still very much waking up.
Yeah, so we saw on the business side in this show, we saw that the car lot was in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
And
We almost lost the dealership.
what wasn't that cool? How they brought in some characters from part 2.
Yeah, I really quite enjoyed that. Actually, I think when I was going nuts posting stuff during my binge watch, yeah, it really caught me off guard. I was already expecting to see Chosen and Allie, but I wasn't expecting to see his love from Karate Kid 2, and that was really really cool. It's one of my favorite scenes of the series when they're sitting outside of I can't remember her character's name right now. It's eluding me.
Well, and then we also see what was the guy's name? Joe. Joe's
Chosen. The character that he fought from Karate
Chosen.
Kid 2,
Chosen. Chosen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Dude, it was just exactly what I could have imagined, what I would have wanted to see. The love letters that Mr. Miyagi wrote that actually ended up having that gave Daniel some insight into his feelings and his final thoughts about Daniel that he didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. He was able to get a translation through some correspondence that Miyagi had with his love in Okinawa.
Yeah, and then teaching him the Miyagi pressure points.
Yeah, Chosen doing. Yeah, once again, there was more to Miyagi-Do than what Daniel-san was able to be taught. As Chosen put, maybe he thought you weren't ready.
Oh, but wasn't that a great scene though when Chosen uses the pressure points and then and LaRusso thinks he's going to kill him.
Like the nose grab and honk. I don't know. I would love to do a little deeper dive into finding out how that became like the running gag of the Karate Kid series, because that's not the only time that happened. Like, I mean, Miyagi did that to John Crease like twice. It was the first time he did it, we yonked his nose at the end of the first movie. But that, like, Daniel-san did that to Chosen in a much grander scene in Karate Kid 2. Like, he had the chance to finish him, and that's what he did to finish Chosen, was honk his nose.
But what I thought was most interesting about that scene was the way that
hold on, that nose thing is something taught by Miyagi-Do. Like, Mr. Miyagi did that and also trained Daniel to do that, and it was something common over in Japan. And the guy and Chosen thought that was just like the best revenge, was to be able to do that same exact thing to Daniel.
Because it's humiliating.
Yeah, I think that's like the humiliation tactic in Miyagi-Do. Like, that's literally something they're trained.
but also though, let's look at like the way that Chosen's demeanor changed just from before he did that to after. Like, after he did that, his whole stance, everything was enlightened.
His guard dropped quite a bit after that.
Yeah, his face completely changed.
Yeah.
And
it really was amazing, and I think that was of the series yet, that's probably some of the best Karate Kid we've got, the best Daniel-san that we've got. Watching him progress forward.
Because we got to see Daniel-san become the Karate Kid again, essentially.
Yeah, well, not only that, but become a more mature and more learned Karate Kid. It was really really cool. Miyagi-Do's has more badass stuff than we had initially thought, and we get to see it taken to the next level. He actually gets to apply it later on in the series.
Right. But the other thing that I thought was great in that episode was seeing this was one of my favorite scenes, seeing the girl from the tsunami come back and be the one at the she worked for favor. Yeah, she worked for what's the name of the car company? It almost sounded like Toyota, but it wasn't.
It did, yeah, but it wasn't.
It was like Daytoya or something.
Yeah.
But
the lawyer.
So yeah, something along those lines. But so she was a high up there, and was able to save the relationship with LaRusso's dealership.
Yeah.
But dude, the way they worked in all the flashback scenes in this season, there was more flashbacks to the movies than any of the previous seasons, and it works so much better.
It really did, and I mean that shows the access that Netflix has versus what YouTube what they were able to pull off with YouTube production wise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it, I'm glad that they didn't just go to Netflix and keep the show exactly the same. They tried to use they built off of the assets that Netflix has. The show improved greatly. I mean, I was a dedicated watcher before it went over to there, but like it's stuff like that I think they're able to probably more efficiently ascertain rights.
Oh yeah,
For the
definitely
movies, like the
the
Karate Kid
production
movies are already on Netflix.
the production value of the show between season 2 and 3 went up
It's
tremendously.
unsurpassed, dude. It's completely day and night.
I mean, you never would have thought when YouTube still had it that we would have gotten to go to Vietnam, gotten to go
Yeah,
to
I'm pretty sure we were in Vietnam, bro.
gotten to go to Japan.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and they just a couple of friends of mine were even talking about it already this morning. Just the cinematography was astounding. The way that the editing that they did for it, the way that they accompanied the soundtrack and made certain parts almost like were filmed like a music video. I mean, it was incredible, dude. It really was. It was just I've never I don't think I've cried that much
Mm-hmm.
since I've gotten sober. It was an literal emotional roller coaster, and I don't think they would have been able to pull that off otherwise. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do moving forward.
And we got to see so much more of uh how Johnny, and you're probably right. I probably did say Joey earlier because I almost said it again.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny
It's all right.
Lawrence lightened up and let go of the no mercy even more. Like we started to see that last season with him saying we do need to show mercy, but now it became so much more pronounced.
Yeah. What did you think about Johnny Lawrence hurting his way into the hospital to get to see Miguel? I thought that scene was great when he almost pulled like a liar scene when they weren't let nobody but doctors and family were
Mhm.
only allowed back there.
Well, I
When he
also thought
busted
that
himself up.
that was more that gave you more like a deeper view into the character too, because he's trying to go in as the doctor and he looks in the mirror and then the guy comes out
He's like, "You're
and
not a doctor."
he realizes like that's part of the problem. It's part of where he is in life right now and what he's trying to become. Like everybody keeps telling him your calling is to be a teacher. Like you're not this
But he doesn't feel like he's grown himself.
right.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, he's still the guy that can't be seen. You would never be a doctor. You're the guy that ends up in the hospital, and
Yeah,
that's how he had to get in.
exactly. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that."
But
And
I
he
would have.
used his karate. He used a. Have you ever seen somebody do their own karate on themselves? I think that was the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, but what would have been really cool, kind of to mirror that, is if later, after some more of his growth, he had to get into the hospital for another reason, and he puts on the jacket, and somebody sees him, is like, "Oh, hey, doctor, whatever."
Right. Oh man.
But also, what did you think about the way that he was able to get Miguel back on his feet? The way he went about that.
I thought it was great. I wasn't. I didn't like that. I think there was too much underage drinking in this season.
I felt that too.
I was that was about my. I can honestly say like that's like I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10.
Because of the
It was that
underage drinking.
they promoted underage drinking a little bit. They never really acknowledged it as being bad or contributing negatively to the situation. I don't want to get too much off into it. But other than when they went to the concert, dude, I love Dee Snider, man. I'm an '80s baby, bro. That was great.
Mhm.
It was they did my favorite. It was like I said, it was like almost like some of the parts were shot like a music video. Getting to see those two rock out and hang out, and then when his foot started tapping,
Mhm.
watching Miguel's emotions change when he realized that it's like that, like that actually worked. But he got him in there. He's like, "Come on, man! Like this kid's gonna die soon." When he's out there with the security guys,
Yeah.
and Miguel's just like all of a sudden, like he just like busts into the act of like acting like he's.
But everything he did that tried to get Miguel back on his feet, it was cool how none of the physical pressure ever worked. It was just purely all the emotional like getting
Yeah,
him
yeah,
into the
yeah.
party, and then their argument when he was hanging from the bungee cord was ultimately what got him to stand on his own 2 feet.
Yeah. Well, no, and like he said, it's not about. It wasn't about standing up. He's like, you got to learn how to fall.
Mm.
It's like it all made sense. But there's a lot more depth to Johnny Lawrence than people give him.
Right,
Credit
yeah, and Crease was the one that taught him that everything comes from this physical pressure and from fear,
Yeah.
and ultimately none of that worked to get Miguel to
Like
walk.
Johnny says, it's bullshit. It was all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. Yeah.
Yep. He's like, you can be badass without having to be a bully. You don't have to be a bully. And then he said that and stood up to the bullies, which was amazing. We got to see both. Although we've seen John Creese at his most evil, but I think it's awesome that we've also got Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso at their most badass. Like that, we literally got to see Daniel LaRusso go up, take that. He took his new training to him. That was incredible.
We saw LaRusso defeat Crease.
Not for the time.
Well, no. I mean, he won the battle. He didn't win the war yet, but he won the battle.
And like you said, peace. Like it's one of my favorite Crease lines. I think that was in the second season. He's like, peace is just the lull between battles. War never stops. They're gonna have to. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to cut the head off of that snake, man. There's only gonna be one way that dude's ever gonna stop.
Well,
we're gonna find out quickly once Terry Silver comes into the picture in season 4.
He almost did. He almost took him out because he looks at Johnny, and Johnny like gives him the okay.
Yeah.
And I thought that was gonna be it.
Yeah, no, it did. Like, no, that was so cool, man. Like, I've had that bro moment in my life where it was just great when Danielson's just about ready to do it, and he's giving him that look, and Johnny's just like, go ahead, dude. Like, he just got like, that is the most bro moment of the whole entire series. That was perfect.
Well, no, the most bro moment I would argue was at the end when Johnny and LaRusso bowed to each other.
Dude, after they both just did a side drop kick to Crease, that was so great. The show was just so great. I could sit and talk about this show all day. I could just sit and talk about it.
But
we're gonna have to come up with a channel just for Cobra Kai discussion and theory. Can we let's work on that?
What about so why don't we talk a little bit about Hawk? Because I know you were really waiting for the Hawk redemption story arc.
Well, because you were doubting the Hawk redemption story arc. That's why you're like, everybody was giving me shit about Hawk, and I'm like, dude, that's my bull.
I didn't doubt the redemption story arc.
He got very lost, but it took a while for him to find his thing.
I didn't doubt that he was eventually going to redeem. I just didn't know if they were going to do it this season. I felt like that could fit in later down the road.
I'm glad. Well, they did it right at the end. We got to see a pretty evil dude. I mean, I think of all the bad stuff of the more violent, crazy moments, Hawk owned a couple of those, and definitely the worst one when he broke Dimitri's arm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a brutal scene. That had me jacked up. That was one of the first scenes that really had me messed up. I had to warn Jason before that. I was like, dude, you know, they'll be okay. Don't worry, they'll be drawing dicks on his cast soon. Don't worry.
Yo, but when he saw the other guy going to break Dimitri's arm again, you just saw it all.
Yeah, it all
just like what the hell have I done? Like, come into him.
He seemed like he was just Hulk seemed like he was trapped, and he was never, even before he joined Cobra Kai. I mean, I get it. I have a similar story arc to Hulk in my own life. It's you sometimes you find that, like, when you're going along with doing stuff that's just the flow of doing things, you don't realize that it's bad until you're already trapped inside the whirlpool, you know. And it takes a certain kind of character to be able to swim your way out of that whirlpool. It's a lot easier just to go with the flow and get sucked down with it. But we saw him right at the end, man. Like, really, like, he really loved his friend, and we've seen that since the very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
That just like when he's like, "What am I doing?" You know, like you just saw that moment where, like, it just broke, and it took Dimitri doing that, but Dimitri had to become somebody worth saving too at the same time. And I think even Dimitri started losing some of that towards the end of season 2. You know, you can't start to act tough and try to rebel against your adversaries without expecting some pushback. They were already giving it to begin with. You know. But,
and
yeah, dude. Oh, that was brutal though. Watching. Yeah, I was so mad at Sam. I didn't talk to Samantha LaRusso for a whole entire episode after that.
So, what do you think about Eagle Fang?
Now,
I got news for you, Jake.
We're from PA, okay?
Jake, you got to know though.
It's January and a bit cold around these parts, but I can guarantee you, Chris Massey, I will be wearing an Eagle Fang cut off shirt. It'll be warm for like 2 minutes, and I won't have one on.
I don't know if you know this, Jake, but eagles don't have fangs. I had to.
I had to give the look.
Yo, but the shirt, I can't decide if it's really cool looking or really stupid looking.
It's stupid, crazy, awesome. I love Eagle Fang. I would join Eagle Fang Dojo in a minute. Eagle Fang Karate. That's what it was. Eagle Fang Karate.
Although now we might get we don't know what it's going to be called now that the two JoJos come together. Like, they were talking about a new name briefly. Like, that we need to come up. What's that?
I don't think they should change it.
From Miyagi, though?
No, I don't think they should change it from Cobra Kai. I think they should just keep it Cobra Kai.
Well, no, they're not Cobra Kai. It was Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do that came together.
No, I know that, but I mean the name of the show. I don't think they should change the name of the show.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the name of the show. I'm saying okay. Samantha was talking to the others about we need to come up with a new name.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what they're going to do with that.
They should call it Eagle Fang.
the Russo Lawrence Dojo.
No, it's Eagle Fang Karate. I don't know what you're missing here. What are you not getting here? It's Eagle. It'll be Eagle Fang Karate for life, bro. I don't even know what this Cobra Kai show is that you're talking about. I watch Eagle Fang Karate. That's what I want.
Next season, instead of the Cobra come up in the beginning, you just get the eagle with the fangs.
With the Hawk sound effect behind it. Oh man. That's what I was happiest about, when his redemption arc came full circle and he went and jumped at the bully and we got to hear the Hawk sound in a positive way again. I was so happy. I was so happy.
So I had an issue with one story arc in this.
What's that, my man?
I don't agree that after what he went through and what he did to Miguel, that Robbie would end up with Crease. It just
didn't. It makes total sense. Like he takes over the mind of someone who's abandoned and lost.
It makes sense from Crease's angle, but to me, it doesn't make sense from Robbie's angle. What we've seen of him,
he's very Robbie since the very beginning has made decisions based on nothing. He goes with he instantly follows his gut. He is his father through and through. He doesn't learn. He doesn't learn from anything until he's already made the mistake of not thinking it through and trying to see both sides of the coin. He's extremely judgmental, but doesn't want to be judged by anybody.
I don't know. It doesn't.
I think they went a little too hard on it. I don't like seeing how bad he got, and I'm sure that I think we'll see him come back around, but we might not. Maybe that's maybe he's like Crease. Honestly, I feel that we have a better chance of seeing Tori come back around than we do see Robbie. I think Robbie's lost. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yo, unless
now that you gotta remember the last thing that Robbie knows is his dad swung him into a set of lockers and tried to kill him. Because that's how he'll look at it. From the way his character works, that's how he's gonna think about it.
You know what would be cool though? If the final fight that we get in the series is Robbie's redemption, is Robbie fighting Crease.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think that there's a strong possibility of that. If he does, but that's unless he goes. We don't know what they're going to do with the character of Terry Silver. Remember, we have yet to see this character, and that guy is the most evil, backstabbing, just nastiest dude. So and he's no slouch when it comes to karate either. So it could be quite interesting seeing we could see Robbie turn into some working mafioso, bully strong-hand for Terry Silver, become like the next Mike Barnes.
And let's not.
He already has kind of the Mike Barnes haircut from Karate Kid 3, the bad guy from Karate Kid 3. Robbie's cut at the end of season 3 of Cobra Kai. He's starting, and he very much acts like Mike Barnes too.
We do need to highlight though the possibility that Terry Silver's character may be either Johnny or Danielson's father.
It's possible that Terry Silver's not. We already know that Terry Silver and Daniel met before. They've been in the.
I don't remember that.
Terry Silver's who ran the dojo in Karate Kid 3. He trained.
Oh yeah, no, when LaRusso briefly changed sides, right?
Yeah, that's who was in charge. That was who was running the dojo with Crease.
Okay.
No, it won't be him. It'll be somebody we've never met before. We'll have never seen or heard this character before. If we get to see where Daniel's parents, Daniel's father.
Well, maybe not even Daniel's father, but I think it's a really good chance because they keep highlighting that Johnny's father's still out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's just like his dad. As we're told.
So I think at some point,
just like your dad.
At some point, Cobra Kai season 10, we're gonna get Johnny's dad.
Yo, let me tell you, man, that dude Sal, I hate that guy, man. I love seeing that cameo of that character. But he is just such a douchebag. He's just so awful. There is not a positive, redeemable quality about that old man. He's been so nasty to Johnny. He does a great job portraying that character because he's just garbage. He's just a garbage can human.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more we could talk about, Jake, but we can go in about 40 minutes now. I think it's about time to call it.
No, we'll never call it. I'll be talking about Cobra Kai never die, Massey. We'll come back to it. You're not going to let me talk anymore anyway. You'll just edit me out. You always do. You edit me out.
I never edit you out.
Anybody who does watch this know that it would be a lot better, but he edits out all my best material.
Yeah,
he
okay.
does it on purpose.
I never edit anything out Jake says.
That's what I wanted to talk about. One last thing. One of my favorite, the best comedy relief of the series is the pawn shop guy. I love the pawn shop guy. Johnny Lawrence trying to sell that box of old junk to that pawn shop dude, and their interactions with the laptop and shit. He's like, "Did you plug it in?"
It's supposed to be wireless. Yo,
like, but never mind.
that made Johnny with the laptop. I'm like, this is Jake.
Really? Oh my god! My son compares me to Johnny quite a bit. He's like, "Oh my god, Dad." Jason constantly is like, "That's just like you. You're the same way."
Jake always
when he was composing the Facebook message.
Hash brown.
Yeah, he's like, Miguel's like, he's like, that's like a book. He's like, that's like 8 pages.
38 pages.
Like, you can't send her that. He's like, sending her something like that would be like liking all the pictures on her profile. He's like, and he gives him that look, and he's like, you didn't. Oh my god. And Jason looks over at me, and I was like, I still like people's pictures. What? That's why the button's there. But yeah, his interactions with the pawn shop guy is great. I hope we're not done seeing pawn shop guy.
Yeah, but
before we Cobra Kai stuff into our next incoming weekly, I'm not gonna lie.
Before we peace out though, we are gonna probably sometime next week at this point talk about one of our favorite topics, Transformers, because we got Earthrise on Netflix.
Yes, we do.
But Jake, you got a really cool Transformers present for Christmas from some really great friend. What you got there? Pull it over for the camera.
I got.
This is the ultimate Transformer, the true leader of the Autobots.
She's pretty awesome. Cutie Marks. That's what I call her. She's pretty awesome.
My little prime.
That was my Christmas present for my buddy over there. He doesn't have mine, I'm sure, to show off anywhere, but that's all right. I have that. Like, I rearranged this whole entire shelf behind me just to put that up there. Just so that was like, wow, look, it is center too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I love her. She's great.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps it.
That wraps it. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Season 3. You won't regret it.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook. And stay nerdy.